What's up YouTube, this is Lucas with FoxHawk Gaming, and I'm going to show you my Final Qualifiers results. Now, during this tournament, I didn't have much time on Friday until very late in the evening. A little bit Saturday afternoon, a lot Saturday evening, and then complete no life mode on Sunday once I realized how attainable the top 10 actually was. So let's take a look at how far I made it. Rank 13. So they told me that I can participate in the Worlds if, I guess, above me, that'd be 11 other people above me refuse or something. But that's likely not going to happen. So I got rewards, and it's exactly as they said. I get the standard participation. I get an ultra rare, prismatic, and a super rare prismatic. I chose Ryoku for prismatic farming with Ryoku, and I chose Union Attack because I need a second, and a prismatic one is absolutely amazing. So the rewards aren't exactly quite all there for me, especially with the amount of time that I put in, but it was well understood what they were rewarding, so it was my choice to invest that time once I felt that I actually had a strong chance at this. The deck, of course, that I used to climb the majority of this was handless. Now, this is not my deck, this is not original. This was posted, I believe, the day before the Final Qualifiers started. And a different variant was posted, but the archetype was started, and I saw it, and I was like, wow, that looks very powerful. So it is very powerful. Of course, Wonder Balloons didn't do a whole lot in the initial testing, so immediately, bam, replaced it with 3 enemy controller, the deck becomes better. Eliminating the League, this is just one of those decks where it works. Wild Tornadoes, of course, are part of the nut draw in this deck and works amazing with Storm. Dimension Gate, of course, I wouldn't go in this deck with less than 3. That's just, this deck has a huge core. I think only the traps really vary that much. But, oh boy, is this deck very strong. So, again, not my deck, but I used it pretty much through the finals. I wish I could remember which Reddit poster posted it, but I remember it wasn't one I was familiar with. So shout out if it was you that posted the Wonder Balloons handless deck, because it ended up doing a lot of work. I definitely think it was the best deck to use in the finals, or at least one of them, because it was just so fast on games, and it hits back row protection. It doesn't lose that much to Harpies. In fact, it has a good matchup to Harpies, because it kills their back row and you just have bigger beaters. Weevil, it gets past his cocoons. It counters his masks. It's good against random non-meta decks even. So, very fast, very furious. I would almost put it as a tempo deck. That it plays a lot of control, but it wins through just putting on pressure on the opponent and limiting their resources that they can actually use against you. Anyways, no need to go further into the deck. I'll actually show you some games where it did some work for me. Okay, so this is my Valentine. It's a Harpy deck, obviously. And I think this is the match I saved where I just had the nuts draw against her. Yep, that's the nuts draw. So we start off, we get rid of that back row, we pop one of her guys, and we go in with a Flash Assailant. At this point, it's 2 cards to 2, one of mine being enemy controller. There's just not a lot that Mai can do in this situation. Especially once I draw a second monster. And there he is. So that's one of the more aggressive games. I go second, and here's actually a not so aggressive game. So I draw actually pretty weak against Last Gamble, but there is some strength in this hand. I can't get a 2000 Flash Assailant, so I'm not dealing with it right now. Probably should have left him face down, looking back on this game. Oh, but I think I could respond to the flip summon with Dimension Gate. Okay, so that's why I did that. So at this point, I'm just drawing very weak. So I'm saying, hey, I gotta get some board presence on this. So I get a Wild Tornado popped, I release my Flash Assailant. I can actually get a 0-card hand at this point and start beating down. He ends up going Wild Tornado on my card. I decide that it's okay to pop that Blue Dragon Summoner. Doesn't roll too hot, but that's on him to get lucky. That's not my problem. So Discblade Rider comes out of nowhere and gives me a bit of a rough time here. So not a good draw there. Good draw there. And that's all there is to that match. Okay, here's another matchup. So this matchup I saved because my opponent actually made a bit of a crucial mistake at one point in this. Ooh. And I was not expecting a Ladybug and a Gravekeeper's. That threw me off guard. So here it was. He normal summoned the Gravekeeper's Priestess. This enabled me to activate Eliminating the League in response to his double summon, and allowed me to rid his hand of possible priestesses, which he didn't have, but it revealed to me that he had actually a double summon and 2 chiefs. So now we're both kind of playing off the top here, and I get a Gaia. Gaia's gonna do a lot of work for me here. Now, this next turn, I can Storm, but I thought he was representing and Eliminating the League, and I can't lose Gaia. I wasn't sure why he had opened both of his enemy controllers up to that Storm, but hey, I don't know. Anyways, we end up getting through that. We get the last Econ thrown away, and we snag that game. Alright, so here we are. I'm playing against a restart Bandit Keith, so I'm like, I see a fair amount of Gravekeepers up here. So I'm thinking, there's a chance for it to be Gravekeepers. I throw out that Dimension Gate protection. And he goes straight away for the Order to Charge. Now that's aggressive. So I protect my Gearfried. He doesn't have any responses. And now he doesn't free my Gearfried. Probably a good choice. So now I'm getting a Gaia here. Playing him, crashing that Venus. And the atmosphere, I'm like, hold up. What is even happening here? But we have the answer. We actually have it on board. We storm away everything, get our Gearfried, and go in. Again. And that game actually was quite wild because I hadn't played against a Venus until very late in the night on Sunday. And I was like, oh man, he's got the turn one. But we managed to have the answers we needed and we managed to pick that game up. Alright, here's a mirror match that I decided to save because it was a mirror match. I figured people need to see this. But it's kind of a game of holding back your resources and exploding at just the right time. Like a lot of playing with this deck is. So I figure he has a bad guy at hand. Can't set everything he has, so he just holds back. Now there's an eliminating the league, and I'm like, hold up. Dimension Gate. And then this madman pulls out a second eliminating the league, and I'm like, ooh. But he's using up his resources really fast. And that 2 eliminating the league really hurt him. So I'm just eating through his monsters, building up card advantage here. Goes for a Storm, manages to get the Econ, which is pretty strong, but I'm protecting my boys with Dimension Gates. Draw a Wild Tornado. If things go right, I can free one of my guys. I have a second Dimension Gate in hand. I can bait out this Econ, which it does end up being Econ. So, before he attacks, I'm gonna save my guy. Now, I don't go in because I can't win this turn. If that's an Econ, and it wasn't. But now I have the Econ and the Storm, so I'm gonna free my guys, kill that back row, and we're gonna go for game here. Couldn't have 2 Sphere Karibos, and I figured he wasn't running 1. So that was the mirror match. Overall, this deck is actually very fun to play. It's an aggressive tempo deck. I think it was one of the best decks to play because it can put in a lot of games fast. Now, this format of playing unlimited matches and getting as high rank as you can, I'm not too excited for it to show up again. One of the things that I really have an issue with going forward is that control decks seem to be in a weaker place. You don't want your games to take too long. You want to put in as many games as you can in as short of time as possible. That's the real goal of events that are like this. And also, I feel like the people that are working were at a huge disadvantage during this. I didn't play as much because I had an appointment on Friday that lasted quite a long time, but I know my partner Cole, he was working for a lot of the weekends, so I definitely don't think there was a huge chance to make top 10 if your schedule happened to be very busy, even if you took a day off during it. So I'd like to see them come out with some registration events where you register and you play some Swiss rounds, cuts to top 8, 16, 32, whatever it takes, and then move on to single elimination rounds. I'd really like to see them implement that. I think that'd be very awesome. I'd definitely be willing to play in those and look forward to them. But as for an event like this, I didn't enjoy playing so much, even if I just no-lifed it for a single day. I think my final count was like 560 games or so, which, whoa, that is quite a bit to be playing this game. But overall, it was a very eye-opening experience, and I want to have even more questions answered, so whatever you ranked, just list the deck you mostly played, comment below, show us a picture of your rank or something, and I'd love to do a meta-analysis on exactly what was working and what wasn't working. I think that'd be very fun, so comment with a link to a picture of your rank and list what deck you used. And did you enjoy the event at all? I really want to know what people thought about this. I was a little bit against it, just because of the time consuming aspect of being over 3 days. But I bet there are some people that couldn't get enough of it. Anyways, let me know down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time. Bye.